So today I spent a good portion of the day doing research on bragging and boasting and self promotion. And my brain is numb from all this information. I learned the fact that women have a difficult time with self promotion, and that leads to them not getting hired as often. And one of the things I read said that it's their fear of retribution for self promotion that is causing them to perform like less well as they would otherwise. I think that's an interesting thought.
When you think about it, we do tend to punish women for succeeding.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we do punish them or women in general for going against gender stereotypes, which like if the woman is promoting others, then it's seen as okay, but as soon as she starts promoting herself, then the negative perceptions kind of enter into the equation. Oh, there was one really great paragraph. I'll read a little bit of it. The impact of systemic racism, classism, xenophobia, and other biases was categorically absent when the concept of imposter syndrome was developed. Many groups were excluded from the study, namely women of color in various income levels, genders, and professional backgrounds. Even as we know it today, imposter syndrome puts the blame on individuals without accounting for the historical and cultural contexts that are foundational to how it manifests in both women of color and white women. Imposter syndrome directs our view towards fixing women at work instead of fixing the places where women work. And I thought that was a really interesting paragraph to like mull over.
Yeah.
We do talk about imposter syndrome a lot. Like it's in recent years gotten more popular. We spend so much time focusing on like how the individual can better themselves so that they can, you know, compete against this system that's set against them instead of just fixing the system.
Well, also, I think that some of that has to do with, I don't know what to call it. If I were a right wing reactionary, I would call it cancel culture, but that's not the right word. This call out culture, maybe, that we have, where we tend to lionize certain people if they are autodidacts, but demonize others for it. And so I've noticed it gives a tendency for people to sell short their own accomplishments because they don't want to be seen as bragging about them, because they don't want to face any backlash for being seen as bragging about their own accomplishments.
Yeah, because bragging is considered very cringe.
Yeah.
And which means that unless you have a really well-developed friend group, there is no way to actually speak of yourself without it being considered a negative trait.
Yeah.
Oh, there was a study I read that was really interesting. It was published in 2018, and they did a study on various age groups to see how they perceived boasting. And the younger age groups preferred the boasters over the people who were not boasting, as long as they were not lying. Like they could, as long as the boasting was accurate, they preferred the boaster to the humble person, which I thought was really interesting. Like that younger generations might be having a different reaction to what we perceive as boasting now might not be boasting to them.
I wonder personally about this, because I've been thinking about this a lot, because I am an avid fan of the internet, in that as a human being who lived a good portion of life before mainstream adoption of the internet happened, I remember how things were in the before time, and I understand how younger generations might try to lionize certain aspects of that, but it was really hard to maintain relationships before email.
Yeah.
Actively seeing people a lot. It's really hard.